Welcome to Beth Whole New World. And that's beautiful Melody Chatamoya there from awesome Dublin, Ireland. And today we're talking about rising to love through hope. Dun, 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 dun. I need some music. I need some dun, 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 dun.
I know.
This week I'm feeling like there's, it's maybe has to do with from the planetary side, Scorpio energies, but I feel like there needs to be some dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, hope. Why did I want to talk about hope?
Yes.
Because I think a lot of us women, we tend to hope for the wrong thing.
Okay.
It's a word we grew up with. We hope for the best. We hope for things to turn the way we want.
Mm-hmm.
And then we fool ourselves and think because we hope things are going to be okay. We're going to kneel down and pray to God, and God is going to answer our prayers, and he's going to turn out into this charming, amazing man who doesn't treat you badly, who doesn't hit you, who doesn't do all those things that make you feel shrunken and unhappy and everything we're trying to work against right now.
I see. So you're saying hope is they're hoping that things are going to turn around. They're hoping that things are going to look good, when in actuality, if they were present, they would see a different story.
Yes.
And I get more music. Dun, 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 dun.
Because in order to have hope, you need to have trust.
Okay.
And you're trusting God. You're trusting yourself. You're trusting a lot of your input is going to pay off. But trust is very much, it comes with love. When you are loving yourself, you are trusting also that you, in your love, in your space, in your heart, you deserve compassion, you deserve to be seen, you deserve to be heard. All your wishes have to be or deserve to be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
But when we look at hope sometimes can be disempowering. It's not disempowering, but it can be, depending on how you look at it and how you use it in your life. For example, I can hope that I can turn my marriage around. Mm-hmm. I could hope that because I had a good marriage before. Mm-hmm. And I was still married to a good guy. He didn't turn into this monster because we were not getting along. He was still basically a very good person. So I had hoped that if I did something different, things would shift for the better. I prayed, yes, but I also did a lot of things. And most of it was trial and error. That's why I'm teaching these things, because I don't want you to spend 2-3 years trying to figure all these things out, or 10 or 15 or 20 or get a divorce.
Right. We don't want to do that. We want to get it now with Melody.
Yes. So I was hoping, but I was hoping for something I had already had, an experience I had already experienced with the same person. Mm-hmm. But you can't take boo-boo, like Yanla says. You can't meet boo-boo on the street and boo-boo comes into your home and he beats you and he treats you badly and he disrespects your space, everything that you have, and hope that you will love him enough to turn him around into this amazing guy, because that's not going to happen.
I can vouch for that one. In the past, that was it. So when you chose the word hope today, I was like, okay, I'm waiting to hear what she has to say, because for me, hope has an energy of doubt.
Yes.
Hope allows doubt to be present. And it just depends on the strength of your connection to what it is you're intending, whether you're going to create it because you are totally open to going down the other path and being completely in the same vicious cycle.
Yes. So you can't hope that he will love you if he doesn't love you now. No matter what you do, even if you were to bend yourself backwards and become a pretzel and do all the amazing sex, if he doesn't love you, he doesn't love you. If he's not into you, he's not going to be into you.
He's just
when he loves you, you will see, you will know, you will feel.
Yeah, it's true. It's a whole different feeling.
Yeah, and one of easiest trick ever. Men are attracted by sight. Okay? If you didn't know this from today. Men are not like women. They are attracted by sight. They see you and they are, oh, she's hot. That's it. If he's following you with his eyes, if you look at him every time and he's looking at you, he's into you. It is that simple.
So if you look over at him and he's looking down, or you look over at him and he's reading a book, you look over at him and he's talking to the guys and he's looking over here, and you keep looking and he's not looking, just go look somewhere else. Yes.
Yeah. Just save yourself some time, because he might just be, he's looking for a companion for now, but it's not forever. He's not into you. And we need to understand that. So hoping that if you keep loving him, if you show him how to love, if you do all those things that women tell themselves, he's going to turn around and love you. It's not going to happen. If you hope that he's going to leave his wife, he's been married for 10 years, you've been his girlfriend for 6 years, he is not going to leave his wife, people. He is not strong enough. He is a coward. Walk away from him. You deserve better.
No, it's a very different story. We did walk away from each other. I did. And then he walked away, but we got back together, but then came this moment when he was completely separated. And this had been over a period, and then it was just like a year and a half of him being separated and then meeting his children. And then in that moment, it was like the light bulb went off for both of us at that same moment and said, we're connected from like a past life experience. This is not our life,
Yeah.
But that was, and then we still stayed in touch for a long time. It's like icing.
I remember I once worked, my boss years ago after I 5-star arrived in Ireland, like 2000 or somewhere there. She told me that she didn't have children even though she wanted them because she wasted 10 years with a married man, hoping that he was going to leave his wife. And he promised her he was going to leave his wife. And he didn't. Wait. Let him leave his wife first.
Yeah.
And then have a relationship with him.
Yeah, and as I said, even though we did that, we came together and then we're like, no, and then he did leave and he was apart and everything, there still was an awakening. So there's this concept of time.
Yes.
Right? If somebody's really designed for you, they're, in time. And there's different levels of connections. As I said,
yes.
It was totally aware that connection was so strong, like we were soulmates, but we were not. We were completely. We came together for different reasons to ignite us in different directions, and then we made it mean that we were supposed to be in a relationship together. And then we realized, no, my life path had changed, his life path had changed. That was the real key reason we came together. Mm-hmm. And then you just think, because the world tells you that you're supposed to stay together. So the love was still there, but it was like, no, we're charting different courses, and you let it go.
And I've always believed this. I don't know why I've always believed this, but I really think that sometimes you meet a guy and you get on very well, and you probably will get married. And then at some point, you just don't have anything. You've done everything you can with this person. There's nothing else to do. You can't grow together. You're not going anywhere together. And maybe you're not inclined to do anything to serve your relationship.
Right.
Then it's okay, I think, to part ways. I'm not advocating for divorce. I'm doing this to stop people from divorcing. But there are times when the fire is really gone. Like there isn't even a shred of amber around to wake up and start burning again.
Not a shred of ember.
No, it's just ash and
red. Okay.
And then, give yourself the freedom to explore and find something else, something that's more inspiring and exciting and joyful, without the need to hate each other in the process.
Right.
I think, and also I think I'm saying this to my Zimbabwean sisters, because I have experienced that they do this. They meet a nice guy. He's nice. I'm going to get married to him. Please don't do that. Nice guys, I'm not saying nice guys are not good, but I'm saying a nice person and a nice person don't make a hot, exciting, fiery relationship. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Let's get this clear now, because so much of what we've been saying is, okay, if he doesn't do it this way and he's got these issues, don't go there, because he's not the right guy for you. So now you're saying you meet a nice guy. Mm-hmm. He's a nice guy and you're a nice girl, and you've done the checklist and it all looks really good, and you have common conversation and you get along, but because there's no spark, you're saying,
yeah. I would say, because you're both going to be miserable. After a while, and it's not going to be long, you're just going to realize that it's not enough. Nice is not enough.
See, Richard's here, and so this is great, Richard, because Richard said the greatest love of his life wasn't someone I saw first and said, wow. So, Richard, that's great that you shared. So he's saying, hey, did you notice them? Was there a feeling, Richard, or was it a good friendship that became a great love? We have to wait for Richard's response. And while Richard's responding, because I can say I've had different experiences, and there's been those feeling connections,
yes,
right? Mm-hmm. But it's the whole picture. When I can be completely me, like you were saying earlier in the beginning of our series, as we're learning, is when you can actually be. When I can be myself and know that if I like being with myself, I want somebody that I'm with to like me too as me, that I can just be me. And they can be them. And in that sense, we're enjoying each other's company and wanting to help each other, just enjoy life. Now, I don't even want to say better anymore, because I used to have that idea, is we'll become better together. I don't see that. I just think that you're signing up for an adventure that you want to tackle today together, and maybe tomorrow together, and then maybe not the next day. It's a day-by-day thing.
Yeah, I think loving someone is a daily commitment. I've always believed that. Because if you don't make a daily commitment, you're going to take that person for granted, and a few months down the line, they're going to resent you. So daily commitment is every day you ask yourself, am I really into this?
Right.
What am I willing to give? or give up to
Yep.
be here.
But at the same token, Melody, right? We like to think we have this very long life.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. And
we don't.
We don't really, if you can say you want to be with this person today, that would give so many more people freedom to choose. Like, do I want to say today, I want to be with you today? Because if you're thinking, can I live with you for 20 years, 50 years, right? I mean, there's so much that you can stick in there without even knowing it.
Yes, but I'm going to say something that my dad said to me that didn't make sense at the time, but made sense later.
Okay.
That he said, if you get into a commitment with a hope that you're going to get out of it, you will never commit fully.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, when you meet somebody and you love them and you have a spark and everything is lining up, nobody's perfect. Everything is lining up for you. They are perfect for you, right? You get in there with the expectation that you are going to do everything you can to keep that going strong. I didn't say hope. I said expectation. And you do everything you can. When you get to a point where you feel it's not working, you still do everything you can to justify your leaving. Just as you did when you were justifying your committing to this person, you have to do the same process for you to leave. Because sometimes people leave because they are lazy, they don't want to do the work. So they think, if I move on to the next guy, he's going to be my Mr. Wonderful, he's going to do everything I want, and then they discover after 2, 3, 5, 10 years, oh my God, he's not doing everything I want, so he's not treating me like a princess. I'm a princess. My father told me I was a princess, and so I'm moving on to the next guy who's going to treat me like a princess. And in the meantime, you are not treating him the way you should be treating him. You are not being yourself. You are not committing to your needs. You don't even ask for what you need from this guy. Most of the time, he's confused because he doesn't even know what you want. Then something is not right.
Okay, so I think we got to go back here for a minute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're hoping in the beginning, so many of us grew up hoping for Prince Charming.
Yes.
And hoping that life would just work out. And so in one respect, you're saying beware of that because you're not taking responsibility for what you're spending. And so you're then could be settling, finding the nice guy, and you're hoping that the fireworks will start, or you're hoping life will be good because you both get along, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Or you're hoping that he seems to be ignoring you, but you're hoping that that's going to change because if you change the way you are or change something about you, that he'll start to pay attention to you.
Yeah.
And the other hoping is the fact that you're saying, well, I'm hoping he'll do something differently. Again, putting the power back in the sense of being powerless and saying, I'm hoping he'll do something different so our life will be better.
Yes.
When you're never completely clear with him about what you need because you've yet to spend the time with yourself to understand what you need because you're busy hoping.
Yeah. And because as females, we are enticed or influenced by the outside, you will most likely be serving him and your children and everybody else and not you. And as a result, you'll be looking at you thinking, maybe she doesn't deserve it because she doesn't even give it to herself. So why should I be committing to giving her anything? She doesn't care about herself. And he's puzzling over that because it doesn't make sense to a man what we do. That we can be hungry for hours and not eat because they don't do that. They are hungry, they eat now.
Well, Richard here, because I'm going with hungry for love, Can I read this? He said that over a few months, he felt her intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. He felt her intelligence, her generosity, her sense of humor, your shared interests, and he totally fell in love with her.
Yes. And that's what usually happens for men. They see a woman who's attractive. They are attracted by the attractiveness of the body, of the outside. And then when you show who you really are, when you're being yourself, when you are showing what you need, and usually we're great at that before we commit. We ask for what we need. We are very assertive. We are sparky. We are spunky. And then we get married and we go, And it's like, where is that person I fell in love with? Where is the fire? What happened? Because the fire and the spunky and the, fiery temper sometimes is what he fell in love with. The fact that you don't allow him to get away with anything is what he fell in love with. Not the abuse. Because you can still be very assertive. You can still express what you want without being abusive. And he's looking at you thinking, where did she go? And I think that's what men mean when they say women change. And it's the biggest disappointment for them, because they marry you because you are giving them something. And then that something they married you for is the first thing you change. You change and you become this docile, self-serving, self-sacrificing person that they can never understand. Yeah, it's one of those paradoxes.
Well, I might like to suggest that what happens for women, and they're unaware of it, is they have this word called wife. And when they get married, they start to realize, before you were Melody, before I was Jacqueline, and then you became a wife.
Yeah.
And that wife has all kinds of stories associated with it.
Yeah.
And they unconsciously, in a lot of ways, allow those stories to start to affect them. Either on one, like gradually one way, or almost like to a refusal of going the other way. Like, I am never going to be that wife like my mother was that wife.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'm going to be the doting wife. Right? Or this, and it's like they take on this role of wife, and they forgot that they were single Melody or single Jacqueline, and that's who the person fell in love with, and they get the roles a little miffed.
Yeah. Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought you had disappeared for a second. Yeah, you are so right. Because that's what I did. I became the wife. And funny enough, I never defined myself as a wife. And yet, that's what I did. I became the wife. And the wife was not fun. And the wife was...
Do this. You don't do this well enough.
Yeah. You don't touch my things in the kitchen, and you're not holding the baby right, and you're not cleaning that right, and you're and then I just looked at myself one day and I thought, I'm not happy. All this controlling, this telling him how to do, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, it's not making me any happier. It's not making him happier. So maybe there's need to change this.
Right.
Let's be friends. Let's be partners. Let's be, let's entice each other to do fun and happy and silly things. And this whole grown-up thing should just be put in a cardboard box and thrown outside. Nobody needs to grow up.
Well, it's funny you said that, because in the past on Hope, I would be the hope things are going to change. And one of the things that I just realized is so there's a gentleman that I'm practicing, some of these wonderful experiences that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And it was resolved around cooking, right? And he was like, I don't cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, either do I. And I just want to be clear on that, right? Like, like if you're thinking that somehow, we're going to get involved and I'm going to cook, I'm not doing it. There are times where I like to do it, but it is not. It is definitely. I don't sit there and go, "Oh, I'm so excited to make dinner." It's not me. I go grab something. I'll be happy to sit down at a restaurant and order it in, or I could open up a cupboard and just grab a piece of a sport drink. You know what I mean? So I just realized for me, and that felt so freeing to say, yeah. Like,
neither do I.
I don't do it. So if you're somehow thinking I'm your answer to that situation, I'm not. and then in the same token, I went like, well, if we got together, that could be maybe something fun that we could experiment with. Because
yes, exactly. Oh, there's nothing as erotic as cooking together.
Oh, do tell, Melody. Do tell.
Oh, goodness me. I just opened a can of worms. I have to say this. Today is Dora's birthday. And yeah, it just, sometimes I allow memories to come back and haunt me. And one of those is cooking together. We loved cooking together. We did it a lot. And even when he wasn't cooking, he wasn't even helping me with cooking. He would be sitting in the kitchen, on the kitchen table, looking at me and, just having a conversation. And yeah, that's when everything started, when you're brushing against each other and kissing and stuff. You then, when you move from the kitchen and you go to the bedroom, it's a transition. It's not like, now we're in the bedroom and we have to start. And
You were doing the foreplay in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it would have started the whole day, but in the kitchen when we're making dinner, because we would have been apart the whole day.
Steaming.
And then
it's heating up.
Yes, and now it's heating up because the fire is burning, and yeah, so it's one of those. But hope is something that when you look at it, like you said, there's a doubt in it, but you can still hope to change the trajectory of your relationship if it's not going the way you want it to go. The funny thing is when women take control and they take responsibility for their own happiness and their own joy, and they start driving the car, as I call it, men just follow. Just like they still follow when you are abusive and whatever. When you change that, because the funny thing is, even when you think you're in control, but you're doing it negatively, you never feel happy. You don't feel joy.
Richard likes to dance in the kitchen while cooking.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Where are you in the world? Are you with your beloved now? That's what I want to know. Okay, the other women that are watching the show want to know: are you with the woman of your life, or has the love of your life, or has she somehow transitioned? Wish we could hear him talk. Well,
yes, we could. Wait for the response.
Yes, go ahead.
So changing things in your relationship is a possibility. As long as you take charge, as long as you take responsibility for what happens. We tend to sit back and wait for men to do everything for us. And then we complain that he's not doing this, he's not doing that. But we are not taking responsibility to do those things for ourselves, or even to ask for them, to articulate what you need.
Right.
I haven't met a man so far who loves you that won't do things for you. I remember the guy I dated after Tori died. And I was asking him, I can't remember what I asked. And he looked at me and he said, Melody, there's nothing you can ask me to do that I wouldn't do for you. That was empowering and scary at the same time.
Right.
Because Taura used to say that. He used to say, well, there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. And I'm thinking, what? Anything? Anything? Yeah, anything. And then I have to think, what can I ask for?
Yeah.
Because I can't even think of what to ask for. But to be honest, every time I asked for something, I got it. And I know if a man loves you, if he really loves you, he will give you whatever you want, as long as he knows what it is.
Richard said, sorry, he has to jump off now. Didn't answer the question. He loves us.
Oh.
Love you, Richard. That was
Thanks, Richard.
That was smooth.
Richard, my friend. If he's Richard, my friend, then
it's Richard Denbrough.
Yeah, he's my friend. He's in New York. He's a great guy. Ladies in New York. Really, he's an amazing human being. Ladies in New York, he's looking. He's so amazing. He's a gentleman. You'll be so lucky.
Tell me.
I don't know New York that well.
Is it New York City?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. It's only 12 million people, so.
Yeah, you know. He's a good friend of mine. Oh, thanks for the support. So no, the woman he loved amazingly had her own issues, so she couldn't take his love, so she jumped off the Anyway, that's it.
Richard still no. No, what's the no, Richard? Melody and I are friends. She knows my story. Okay. No. No.
So,
hey, no.
So, but I hope, I know, no, not hope. I know he's going to find somebody amazing because he's an amazing person. And he's actually looking. That's the other thing. People like me.
No, I don't think he's looking. I think he's saying no, he's not looking.
He is looking. I think
he's found somebody and he's keeping it.
Oh, I see.
I think that's what's going on.
That's exciting.
Valley. He's in Hudson Valley. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Richard, you're a wonderful, and I hope one day maybe we can do I was going to say a three-way, but that's not. We can do a talk show where you can come up and talk to us, and that's what I meant by it, the three-way, and share in this whole perspective. So let's just get it clear. If you're hoping for something to change and you're skipping the action associated with it, it's useless because you're allowing all the other crap in. But if you're rising to love through hope and you're taking concrete actions to hope to save your marriage, one of those concrete actions would be making sure your heart is open. You've done the 7 steps to opening your heart. You've tapped in, contacted Melody if you need some support. You need a little coaching session, a little like template, a guideline to say, check. Have you done A, B, C, D? You know, PM her, find her on heartpassioninstitute.com, correct?
Yes.
Heart Passion Institute. But the idea is stop hoping and start doing and asking and receiving as you rise to it.
Yes, and if you are single like me, and you stay indoors and you hope to meet your Mr. Right indoors, like I've been doing, don't do that. Go outside, meet people. Meet people and have fun and enjoy yourself, because like we said before, life is very, very short, and we are meant to enjoy it and have great, amazing relationships as we do.
Yes. And you know what? As you're out playing and experimenting, I can just say that sometimes it's like you get the best of different, like the best parts of people that you really want, but they're not yet all in one person. So they might never be in one person, but you get to enjoy all those different experiences. So does it really matter that there's 5 different people? Because you're getting it all.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to say about hope is when I was younger and I was looking for a guy who had the qualities I wanted, I hoped that he existed somewhere. And I waited. I looked for the qualities. I didn't look for the face or whatever. I looked for the qualities. And once I identified them in this particular person, that's when I really allowed myself. Like, I really liked him, but I didn't fall in love and, started planning having babies with him. I allowed myself to fall in love with him after I had discovered he had the qualities I wanted.
Sounds a little controlling, Melody, when you said,
I know.
I didn't allow myself to fall in love.
Well, I like falling in love as in, like, I'm thinking we have a future together. I liked him. The falling in love with him that's why I don't like calling it falling in love. It was more like a rising to love for me, because it's jacked up that's something in me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That I couldn't help being with him.
Yeah.
Because I was more myself. I was more in connection with me, my body, my spirit. Everything was at peace when I was with him. It didn't mean that if there had been issues, like serious issues, I wouldn't have walked away, because I still wanted those qualities.
Mm-hmm.
I still did. And fortunately, they all came together. I believe that happens too. I believe they all come together. There are people like that in the world. There is not one person. That would be ridiculous. There are people like that in the world. We just have to look out for them and find them. And we all want different things.
Yes. And I was just saying, you're saying that because for those that are unaware, her husband transitioned, as I call it, he's moved on to another realm, and he was the love of her life at that time. And at that time, she thought he was the love of her life, and now she's realized that she's open to a new love of her life. But today, being his birthday, you are honoring that and staying at home. Just today.
Yeah, I'm staying at home today. I am grateful that he was born. I'm grateful for his experience on this earth, most of his experiences. Even though the bad ones got him to me. And I am grateful for every second I ever spent with him, because my experience with him made me grow in love in a way that now I can teach people about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had not met him, I don't know if I would have risen as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had not lost him, I would never even have realized how much the world needs this.
Right.
Because I would have been in my bubble enjoying my life, because that's what I did. Now I woke up and I realized, oh my God, not many people get this. So maybe I need to tell people about this. Maybe I need to teach people about this because of my experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as always, it is fabulous to talk to you about Rising to Love.
Thank you. And you too.
Getting better and better. And for all the women that were listening, Richard has declared he is single and there is no one in his life right now. And Richard, you get gold stars for me just because you're a male listening to this conversation. Okay. To me, that would be a quality that I would want to have in a man, that actually can listen to women talk about heartfelt things. Right?
Yeah.
So,
he gets 10 gold stars from me because he blogs for me sometimes. He writes on my blog and he says very insightful things from the men's side of you that helps women. So if you want to be, have the ear or the secret knowledge of how men think about women, what they expect, what they need, go read my blog. He has actually written a few times. So that would be helpful too. And thanks, Richard, again.
Okay. So until next week, I bid you adieu, and may we all rise to love intentionally and leave the hope behind.
Oh, perfectly said. Couldn't say it any better.
Bye.
Bye.